Welcome to another Cardano update. Like always, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts and if you want access to our daily Discord updates for only like $5 a month. Also check out the new merchandise, the third wave of the third wave merchandise, and I hope you enjoyed this video. So there are like 3 days left until the next Fed meeting, and hopefully we finally start QE and we stop QT. Now if we do not start QE, then we should at least stop QT in my opinion. Now people seem to forget, even if we do not stop it and even if we continue QT, that's actually not gonna be that bad, and people seem to forget about what happened in 2017. If you look at the Bitcoin dominance chart right here, I mean, in 2017 it started dropping. It dropped from like 95% all the way down to about 35%. And during this time, I mean, we were in QT the entire time. So, I mean, we don't really need QT for the altcoin season to start. We just need something to happen in the market. Now, what could that be? Well, for that, I'm not starting with Cardano today. I'm actually starting with the S&P 500. As you can see right now, we are exactly at the bull market support band, and I've talked about this chart many times in the past. Basically, we got to the oversold territory on the weekly chart, and I mean, in the past, this only happened a couple of times, and as you can see, in the past 10 years, for example, it happened like 4 times, not even 4 times, 3 times, if you do not count this, because this was in 2011, so you could say that in the last about 16 or 17 years, if you take this as well, it only got to the oversold territory about 5 times, and right now we got to the oversold territory again, which leads me to believe that the low could be in on most of the altcoins and the Bitcoin chart and also the S&P 500, and maybe we're actually getting a big bounce. To confirm that, like I said a couple of weeks ago, we need to get above the bull market support band here, and things are already looking very good. As you can see, we already got above the moving average on the weekly RSI right here, which is very bullish, and we could get rejected at the bull market support band, and if we do, I'm actually expecting some type of correction, because it is normal to get rejected at the bull market support band. I mean, here we got rejected exactly at the 200-day moving average, so there's going to be resistance at about $5,743, which is not really far away from where we're at right now. I know it's not an S&P video, but if you actually want to understand what's going on in the market, then you need to understand what's happening with this, because if the S&P drops, then Bitcoin will most likely drop as well. So there's going to be some resistance here very soon, but if we break above it, and if we break above, let's see, about $5,786 or so, we should be good, and that could put us to new all-time highs, even on the Bitcoin chart, by the way. So Bitcoin right now, it's also, I mean, on the daily, if you look, it's also going down a bit, because, you know, we got above the bull market support band, and I told you that at some point we are gonna have some type of correction. I still think that the correction is coming. I think we're gonna drop maybe to the 200-day moving average, or even the green line on the bull market support band. But if we do not do that, then we could actually use the daily RSI right here as support. As you can see, we have been above it since we pretty much got the low right here. So if we actually want to continue going up, we have to stay above the moving average of the daily chart. As you can see, we are currently at the moving average. So if we get below it, this is going to be a sign that the Bitcoin chart will drop, and if it does drop, I think that will put Bitcoin dominance at 66%, and Ethereum most likely will get some kind of maybe another lower low right here, or a higher low that puts us back in the 1400s basically. And also here on the daily, Ethereum has also been above the daily RSI, the moving average on the daily RSI, for quite some time now, and well, if it drops, it's the exact same story as the Bitcoin chart. Now I want to talk about Cardano as well. Cardano, I mean, as you can see, it's doing the exact same thing. It actually got below the moving average, but it got back above it, and by the looks of it, we are seeing a bounce, but obviously this is not enough to confirm that any type of low is in. Now, speaking of that low, we need to go in the 4-hour chart, and we need to talk about what's happening right here. As you can see, the 4-hour RSI, it's still in a downtrend, which is actually very good, because the price is not in a downtrend. So even though we dropped from like, let's see, about 74 cents all the way down to about 66 cents, yes, this was a pretty significant drop. However, if you zoom out, it's not gonna look like much. And also on the RSI, we dropped way more than we dropped on the price. and that's usually a very good sign, and it usually means that we're about to have some type of bounce, and it would make sense considering the fact that if you look at the Elliott wave count on the chart, right now we are in a 1-2-1-2 setup. The 1-2 setup, the second 1-2 setup, reacted to the 50% extension that I gave you, and as you can see after that, we pretty much formed another 1-2 setup. So right now we should start the third wave of the third wave of the third wave, which should put us at the 1618 of this 1-2 setup, which is at 85.8 cents. Now before we do that, we also have to get above the bull market support band and the 200-day moving average, and that's between about 73 cents and 82 cents. As you can see, we already got rejected by the bull market support band over here and even over here, so getting above it, it's obviously gonna be very, very bullish. Now if we actually get rejected and if we actually go down right now, that's still gonna be good because the red line on the bull market support band, it's gonna start doing something like this. The red line will most likely continue doing something like this, and at some point that will give us a cross, and as you know from the past, a cross on the bull market support band is usually very, very bullish. I mean, here when I was making videos last year, I was telling you that once we get a cross, it could be extremely bullish for Cardano, and it was extremely bullish. We went up 300% in not even a month. So something like that, it's obviously expected to happen again because the Elliott wave count suggests that we are in a much bigger, well, actually let me go on the, well, I'm not gonna talk about that Elliott wave count right now. I actually want to talk about these 5 waves first. So if we get above the bull market support band and we get to the third wave target right there, then we should get a fourth wave move down and a fifth wave move up, and that should complete the other third wave of this much bigger 1-2 setup here. Now the target for that would theoretically be at the 1.618 of this 1-2 setup. However, the second 1-2 setup was pretty impulsive, so I mean you can pretty much forget about this target. I'm only putting this on the chart because I know there's going to be resistance here, but the target for this third wave is the 200% extension of the 1-2 setup, and that's at 87 cents. And honestly, I think that's a pretty good target because the third wave right here will most likely get to about 85 cents, and then we go down in the fourth wave move down, and the fifth wave, I mean, the target for that is most likely at 88 cents or so. So yeah, this could work perfectly. Now, of course, once we get the third wave, that will put us back above the bull market support band. However, do not forget, a fourth wave is still needed, meaning that we will most likely get, in between the bull market support band, or maybe we just get to like about 88 cents, and then we get an ABC that puts us back to the 200-day moving average, and we use it as support, and that forms a fifth wave to the upside. And once we get these 5 waves, I can finally confirm that the low right here is in. Now, I mean, the double bottom that we got, I mean, I called this double bottom a couple of months ago, so it should not really shock you if you have been watching my videos for longer than 5 minutes. And well, I mean, everything is still going pretty good in the market. Like I said, even if we drop right now and we break all support, it's still gonna be bullish because that's gonna give a cross on the bull market support band. So honestly, I don't really care what happens in the next couple of days. I'm just waiting for the Fed meeting, and I think once the Fed meeting actually, ends, and maybe once we actually maybe get some good news, that could give us a very nice pump. And please do not forget what happened with Bitcoin dominance in the previous cycle when QT ended and QT started. I mean, here we went from about 72% all the way down to like 57%, and this was not even the altcoin season. We still had this move to the upside after that, and then we had the real altcoin season. Also, speaking of Bitcoin dominance, I think I actually noticed something on the weekly. Let me see if it was actually the weekly. No, it was the monthly chart. I actually noticed something here, and I think I can finally tell you what can finally tell us that the top is in once we actually start going down. So as you can see, we have been above the monthly moving average on the RSI for, I would say, the past 3.5 years right now at this point. Yeah, 3.5 years. And I think breaking below it and closing below it, it's probably going to be a sign that the top is in and that we're doing a move like this over here. So I'm expecting something like that to happen very, very soon. Now, keep in mind, I'm still expecting to get to 66% first, and once that happens, I mean, right now we are already overbought on the monthly chart. We have never been overbought in the past, and that's actually very good, because here, I mean, when the altcoin season started in 2021, we went from an RSI of about 58 all the way down to about 31, and during this time, Bitcoin dominance dropped from 73% all the way down to, you could say, about 40% or so. So this is good because right now we are overbought, we are over the RSI levels that we were in the previous cycle, and once we drop, I think the drop is going to be even more significant than what we had over here. Now if you go in the 2017 cycle low, well not the 2017, the 2018 cycle low, and you look at how much it went up, you know, until the top right here, you're gonna see that it went up about 107%. Now if you do the exact same thing with this cycle, and let's say you take this low right here, in this cycle it went up about 67%, so it's obviously not as much as, you know, what we went up here. However, that's still very good, because as you can see, after we went up 107%, Bitcoin dominance from this high to this low, it dropped about 46%, so it pretty much dropped half of what it went up. Now what would happen if we were to do the exact same thing again? Well, let's say actually that we go to about 66%. Let me change this right here and let me put it exactly at about 66%, and that would be a 70% move to the upside. Let's say we drop 35% from there, and that would put us at about, well, almost at the trend line right here, almost at 42%, and I think this is where Bitcoin dominance is going. I think this is what we're doing. We're just doing it, you know, a bit slower, and I mean, it's the exact same thing. I still think that it's gonna start dropping very soon. You just need some patience, and if you are patient enough, I think you will get rewarded for it. And well, me, honestly, I'm pretty happy with my position. I bought everything I needed to buy, and right now I'm just waiting for Bitcoin dominance to break down. I don't care if it breaks down tomorrow or in a week or in a month. I'm still gonna be happy with my investments because I still think that the altcoin season will happen. I highly believe in that. Also, Cardano stayed above the moving average on the monthly RSI, so that's pretty much a sign that the low is most likely already in, or it's close to being in, and that we're heading in the third wave of the third wave. Also, check out the t-shirts if you have not already, and well, that's all I have. There are like 3 days left until the Fed meeting. We'll see what happens then, and I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts, and if you want access to our daily Discord updates. Like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.